Hello and welcome to X and Y Gaming Casually Competitive. And in today's video, I'm going to try something new while at the same time doing something that I know for sure people have said that they like. Anyway, in today's Road to Mokey Replay videos, I'm using a bit of a degenerate Gren Maju deck, and my opponent is playing some sort of Tri-Brigade build. The biggest play he's making here is getting Blossom out to summon Kit. Kit uses her Link Summon effect to spit out his or her charade, and since he or she's apparently just clicking buttons, decides to banish his or her own monster. Mind you, I dropped Max C earlier, so my hand is fat. I nuke his or her board with Raigeki and then wait for him or her to use the monster's graveyard effects. Next, I drop Pot of Desires and hope for no Ash. I mean, not like I need it, but I draw 2 cards, and painstakingly summon Eater of Millions. I have to say, doing it all 1 card at a time, and they list the extra deck cards last? Konami, why can I pick the 6 cards for Prosperity or Extravagance all at once, but this is so archaic? Whatever. I summon out Gren Maju with a startling 6,000 attack and get my opponent to his or her last 500 life points. Gold Sark is gonna get me a Necroface Banish, which will banish my opponent for a few cards too. I set DD Dynamite and pass return. With 4 cards in his or her hand, 1 of them is a Lightning Storm, but my trap card resolves first, hitting him or her for an additional 3,000 damage, which I think is greater than 500. Duel 1 for Degeneracy, and on to Duel 2 versus Danny-san. They activate a Zexal field spell and I instinctively drop Max C. They set 2 back row and summon an 1800 attack wordplay monster, set a 3rd spell trap, and pass. I start off with an upstart to try and get a negate, maybe. Hey, but all he does is a trap card that does nothing right now, so I draw and play Pot of Desires. Banish 10 and draw 2 with no resistance. I throw down my Dimensional Fissure and then dust their back row. A 4,000 Gren Maju easily beats over the 1800 that then gets banished. With 1 card in their hand, my opponent surrenders. On to number 3. Set 1 pass is a hard strategy to root for unless it's what your deck wants to do. I start off with the Desires that actually does get ashed, but luckily for me, I had my Called By on standby. I up Uno. So I draw 2 and eventually summon Big Mouth. He may only have 1600 attack, but that won't matter when the Banish effect kicks in. Regardless, I play my Dimensional Fissure before jumping into battle, after which I pass turn. Raigeki tosses Big Mouth aside, and they summon a 2900 Beat Stick and slam me for damage. Once again, I eventually summon a 2nd Big Mouth and simply attack into the Beat Stick. Same note as before, with 1 card in hand, my opponent surrenders. Next up is Hikaru, straight from Hikaru no Go. I don't know why he's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of Go, but we're here for it. I have no idea if that's what his name says. I don't speak Japanese. He summons a Trap Tricks and I think I can get a draw off this, so I Max C. Setting 1 and opting not to do any specials, he passes to me. I dust for 1 card because I figure why not, and he changed the Trap Tricks to spare the card. So I upstart for 1 and eventually summon Big Mouth. Insta-banish the Trap Tricks in battle, set 1, and pass. Hikaru ponders for a while before eventually going into a Trap Trick Sarah, and then summoning a Parallel Exceed. This bad boy hits the field and just straight up summons another one from the deck. Hey, they're also now both level 4, but first he needs to activate a trap card. Sarah specials me Emilio, who then targets my Trap Hole card. I was hoping to save it for a more generic boss monster, but oh well. After more pondering, Hikaru eventually goes into a generic boss monster in the form of Access Code Talker. After popping the Big Mouth, a direct attack leaves me with 4,700 life points. I draw into Max C, so that's no help, but I have a 2nd Big Mouth and eventually put him onto the board. For some reason, I wasn't stopped, so I just gobbled up Access Code Talker and passed. Not one to be deterred, Hikaru confidently draws and throws down a Trap Tricks Mantis. I decide to Max C, just in case, but he had some crazy good Trap Hole card just for the occasion. And my man's turned those 2 4s into a Utopia and a Utopia into a Lightning. And since Million's banishing effect only happens when Eater declares the attack, Lightning easily beats over Big Mouth and claims victory. Sai would be absolutely proud, if not wildly confused. Next up, they just scoop, so I don't count it. Then the next guy, Bricking 101, scoops, so I don't count it. Next up is Deadeyes, and I am dead-ass scared for my life. What the fuck? Draco King throws down a buzzsaw shark that summons a lantern shark from the deck. And those guys make a Bahamut shark that, of course, spits out a toad. Set 1 pass. I want to bait the negate, so I threaten banishment, but no one stops me. Next, I dust the back row, and no one stops me. So I go for Desires, and sure enough, I'm drawing 2. Gren Maju for 4K Beatstick and ram it into Bahamut Shark? Super easy, barely an inconvenience. So I set 1 and pass. He activates a White Mirror spell card to special a guy from the graveyard, but with Called by Handy, I stop that short easy. Another couple shark corpses later, and he summons a number Xyz monster that pops my Gren Maju. I get pegged for damage, but I'm still alive, so I draw. I have far too many Necroface in my hand for this plan to work, unfortunately, but I'm still going to do it. The idea is, in battle, for the Necroface to be banished after the attack, and, hopefully, start a whole chain that will go on to banish some total of 15 cards from your opponent. But DD Dynamite only ended up doing 2100, so yeah, I lost. It was still fun though. And that's gonna do it for this tale of absolute disgusting degeneracy with Big Mouth and Gren Maju. All hail the Pot of Desires. Banish 10, draw 2. Neg 9, nah fam, you're wrong, and you don't know whack. I just didn't want to say shit. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope the rest of your day is as absolutely beautiful as you are.